Bliss. Good to see you here.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Not much. Hi, Alex Mars. Good to see you. We talked to her yesterday. Vanessa,
Hi.
hi. Christy, what's up? Good to have you. Anna, hello. Ignacio, hi. Nice to see your cameras on. I love that.
What's up, guys? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Today, we're going to be talking about Web3 and the music industry and how you all can take advantage of this space. Post is out here. Hi, Angela. Hi, Roderick. Colin, Jason. Hi, Kareem. What's up? Yeah, type in the chat. Turn your cameras on if you can. I would love to see all your faces. Atara, hi. I love your profile picture there. That's super cool. Let's see who else we got in the building already. Already 60 people. Dean, hello. Oh, he's connecting his audio still. Hi, Tom. Hi, Mona. Hi, Jason. Hi, Ian. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Maddie, hello. Perfect, Ataya. Thank you. Hi, Ezer. Hi, Elvin, Isabella. If you guys could turn your cameras on, would love it. Hi, Tracy. What's going on? I know, big crowd already. It's like kind of overwhelming. But I'm loving seeing everyone come on in.
It's a party in here.
It's really a party. The best Saturday party you could go to. Like
The best Saturday party you could ever be at 12 o'clock.
This is the new Saturday brunch right here with Finesse Media.
Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday.
Hello. It's a Darty. There you go. Hey, Steven. Hi, Kyoka. Love your background. Hi, Renee. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Shu Feng, hey. Love when you come. Nice to see your face again. Kingston, nice to see you again. Thank you for having your cameras on. Oh, now I have pressure on me. My girlfriend's in the building. Oh no, she's really watching. That makes me nervous. Hi, Azar.
We're going to be multitasking today, guys. Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Okay.
Hey, Tracy, are you eating?
I'm going to be washing my hair and listening in. Is that cool?
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right. Thanks for understanding, guys. I'm always doing a million things at once. So I'm going to lend my ear and do my beauty at the same time. Nice to meet everyone. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Wait, Tracy, while I still have you on, can I ask you the first icebreaker question?
Yes.
Okay. If you could listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would that one song be? No, it's like ask anyone who likes music, but
all right. Well, I listen to a lot of my stuff too with other people, but there's this one song by Ariana Grande called Just Like Magic. Just like magic, just like magic. Middle finger to my thumb and then I snap it. Hey,
sing it.
I will listen to that shit every day.
In here.
I'm attractive. I get everything I want because I'm attractive. Oh, yeah. Woo, that's my shit. But yes, I do listen to it every single day. So I would listen to that literally every day. So yeah.
I love that. Thank you for the serenade. I love that. Shu Feng, what about you? What's your one song you would listen to?
Hi everyone, I'm Chu Feng. I use she, her, and hers pronouns. It's like bad lighting because I'm at an awkward angle. Firstly, Just Like Magic, I also play that every day. And
girl, yes.
I just want to say manifestation really does work.
Come on.
Don't doubt it.
Come on. That's the vibes.
And then if I had to only pick one song, I think it would be, oh, this is kind of hard. It would have to be Daydream by Tori Kelly.
Ooh.
Just because her her lyricism and her storytelling is like something I admire so much. And I've been in love with Tori Kelly since forever now. And Daydream is just like, it's about like chasing your dreams, but also giving yourself grace to breathe and to rest. Like it can be that hustle and that grind, and it can also be sleeping in.
I love that. Her voice is incredible. She is a slept on vocalist, I believe.
Yes,
Shaki.
she is. We don't talk about it enough.
Yeah, they don't know. It's okay. People want to sleep. Shakia, hi, nice to see you. She came from LinkedIn. Hello. Do you have a song, your only song that you would listen to if you could only listen to one song?
Rose, Single Again from Ruby
Oh,
Rose. New song. New song.
That's the one song. Okay, I love that. Let me see one more. Kyoka, what about you?
That's really hard.
I know.
That's hard. Dang. It would probably be something instrumental, 10 minutes long. I'm kind of thinking of and I don't even know. I'm really bad with lyrics and the names of songs. But I'm thinking of this one song that Outkast did on
I love
that really long epic song.
Spotty Audiopalicious or something like that.
It might be. It's an epic song.
Yeah.
I don't know why more people don't know that song, but it gets me every time. I think Erykah Badu's singing on it. Goody Mob is on it, but it's an old school song. But every time I hear it, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that song is classic. It's from like the first album.
Yeah, it's a good song. But yeah, you caught me. I might need 2 weeks to answer that.
No, I know.
Honestly.
It's like the first question for anyone who loves music to ask. It's like, what mood are we going for? What era are we going for? I'm surprised nobody brought up anyone like super like old school. Because I think old school music is very timeless, and so you can listen to it anytime. But we are gonna get into it because it's 9:10 for me, 12:10 for other people, and other times for other people. So we're gonna get into it. I'm Marley. I am your hostess with the mostest today. I'm a music marketer and content creator for Finesse Media. And today we will be talking about Web3 in the music industry and how independent artists and fans can now have ownership over their music and also just engage in a way cooler way, a new way. With us today is artist, songwriter, composer, engineer, Amber Ryann. Hello, she's in the building. And we also have producer, Death Beach, and economist, Kristofer Madu. So hi, everybody. Also want to remind everyone to keep your cameras on if you can, keep your mics off, take lots of notes because we're going to be as entertaining as we can, but also drop you guys with some information that you can take with you after the Saturday. And at the end, I will be walking you all through how to make an NFT with me and mint it live today. So I hope you guys are all excited. Kristofer, do you want to introduce yourself really quick?
Yeah, hello everyone, happy to be here. My name is Kristofer Madu. I consider myself someone that thrives in this space where music and business intersect. I've had a career that has brought me from being a recording artist myself, going on tour, owning a mini label and entertainment agency, currently managing an artist named Gianni Glow I'm really excited about, in addition to on the pure business side, working at a large record label, working on some exciting Web3 stuff, and beyond that, also spending some time in finance on Wall Street. So music has always been my passion, and I'm really excited to talk about kind of not just what's happening in music today, but what we're all here to talk about, which is what's going to happen in music tomorrow.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Death Beach, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Sure, I'm Death Beach. People call me DB, Death Beach, whatever you want. I'm a music producer and mixer by trade. In fall of 2020, I started making content about NFTs and the potential that they could have for the music industry. And since then, I've talked to a lot of really big artists, and it's led to me working for a Web3 company called Pools, which is a social token company. We've soft launched our first couple of artists, and this year we'll probably take over the social token scene.
Congratulations, by the way, on all of those
Thank you.
accomplishments. Yeah. Then Amber, last but definitely not least, please introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Amber Ryann. I'm based out of Pasadena, California. I'm an independent artist, songwriter, producer, content creator, and creative director. I'm fairly new to the NFT space, but I do recognize the potential, to really drive fans into that space and give them the experience that you should as an independent artist. I sold out my first NFT collection that I launched last year, which I'm really proud of. And every day I'm just like working toward educating myself and, trying to find new things to do in this space and help other artists do that as well. So
definitely. Amber Ryan's also TikTok famous, everyone. So
no.
Go find her TikTok. Also, look for the contact sheet in the chat. I want everyone to become friends after today. So feel free to drop your Instagram handles, your LinkedIn handles, your website handles, and fill out our contact sheet so we can all stay connected. And I will get into the very first question. So the very first question is, what exactly is Web3? It's a big buzzword in the tech industry, economics industry, music industry, but really what is it? What are we talking about when we say Web3 space? Chris, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, happy to. So for me, I think it's important to think about, things when they get popular often become buzzwords. And then we stop thinking about why it's called something and we just, start calling it that. But I think the best way to start is by focusing on why exactly it's called Web3. And with that said, I actually, are people able to see my screen right now?
Yep.
Awesome. So I want to run through this quickly, but I have a graphic that I think will really help to set the tone of this conversation, which is, it's called Web3 because it actually is the third generation of the web, right? So when we think about how we got here, you have kind of Web 1, which is, let's think a really good example is like maybe just www.static websites, where you're just receiving information. People call it the read-only internet. So that's just the, www.com bubble type space. A good example might be Britannica Online, which is like an online encyclopedia. Web 2 is where Britannica Online becomes Wikipedia. In addition to just receiving information, I can start to give information back. Social media is one of the best examples of, Web 3, where your feed is constantly refreshing because you're constantly seeing things that other people are creating. And so where we are now, where we're going tomorrow, is kind of the idea of the semantic web, right? Which is, not only can I give information to the internet, and not only can the internet give information back to me, but technology has become smart in a way that machines can, in addition, create and read information created by both humans and machines. So that sounds, really confusing, but I think that just really one of the most exciting things is also the evolution of data. Who is owning, who's able to take control? Before, there's a few central servers that house information. Then later in Web 2, it's kind of like big corporations, your Facebooks, your Googles that monopolize all the data. And now you're the one that owns your data, or maybe nobody owns your data. Maybe it's chopped up into a million pieces and spread across a million computers that no one really owns. So instead of focusing on just the technological evolution, what I think really sets the tone for this conversation and is most relevant for artists is thinking of Web3 as a world where instead of being, monopolized, your data, your music, your art, your creativity is decentralized. You can own it. You're the business. You're the one that can monetize it. And so I don't want to spend too long, but I thought that was a good way to visually lay the land.
Definitely. Gary V says that, kind of like you just said, like you're the company, you're the CEO, you're the artist, you're also the record label now with this space, or you can be. It's a potential to be. So thank you so much for that graphic. I think that really helped. Also, Death Beach, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think a real simple way to think about it is Web3 is just a set of new technologies that allow for a layer to be put over the internet that allows for peer-to-peer transactions, and that anytime we're uploading anything to the internet, there's now this ownership layer to where any content, eventually we'll get there, any content that I'm putting online will be linked directly back to the creator.
Period. Boom. And then tell me a little bit about how your profession and your role is involved in the Web3 space currently as a producer.
That's for me. Right now, as a producer, what I'm trying to do is really educate artists on this space and the flexibility of it. People tend to get really caught up in thinking that an NFT is almost like a CD or this new type of medium that the music's on. And it's really not. It's paving the way for new business models for music. So as a producer, right now, my role is really exploring what those different ways of monetizing are, and not monetizing music, but it's a whole new way of monetizing your creativity, your whole entire thing. So that is kind of my role as a producer and mixer, just kind of really educating people and finding these new avenues and then sharing them with the artists I work with.
Thank you. Thank you. And then Amber, what about you? So you're an independent artist and you've used Web3 technology in a lot of different ways. Can you explain a little bit more to the audience?
Well, the way that I'm using it as of right now, I mean, we're still in like such a developmental like phase of Web3 that, you know, I think there's a lot of education to be done, even in terms of like the consumers that are going to inevitably be consuming that. So what I try to do just to, you know, bring that experience to my fans is create exclusive experiences for my fans. So like with my first NFT collection, you know, I made like a piece of artwork that was relative to like one of my releases and sold that. But yeah, basically what I'm using right now, what I'm trying to do is just educate myself on Web3 and trying to build experiences to basically give exclusively to my fans and give them that like exclusive experience.
And have you seen that using Web3 and creating like closer experiences with your fans has helped your marketing techniques at all?
I would definitely say yes. I still think there's like a learning curve. I think, like I said, you know, fans are not all the way there in terms of they're still thinking to themselves, how is this valuable? It's not something tangible. It's not something like there's still a learning curve. And because we are in those early stages, it kind of is the artist's responsibility to educate their fans on why this will be valuable for them as well. So I think I'm still in that phase, like on top of learning, you know, how to like generate that income from that stream, or like, you know what I'm saying, basically.
No, definitely. And I appreciate the honesty with that too, because all my friends see me posting about NFTs and Web3, and I was practicing on how to make an NFT for you guys today. And my friend is like, did you figure out how to mount the MTV yet? Because I don't know what you're doing. Like, I was like, I'm not mounting an MTV, I'm minting an NFT. Like they don't really understand what that means when I'm saying. So I appreciate you saying that. If we really want to get into this space, artists kind of can and should take a little responsibility in educating their fans. Kristofer, do you want to add anything to that question, by the way, of how your profession's involved?
No, I think I really agree with what Amber and Death Beach have said so far.
Okay, awesome. I also wanted to ask, like, we're still fighting for the rights of artists in the real world right now. What is the efficacy of us trying to, because for some people it feels like we're abandoning real world to just jump into this new space that's uncharted while we're still fighting for artists' rights in general. Amber, how do you feel about like people who say that?
I was letting the question, you know, rattle around in my brain a little bit.
Yeah, no problem. Anyone can jump in.
But yeah, I mean, I still believe like there's a balance between the two, to be honest, like, because I view it in the way of bringing like these exclusive experiences to fans. I don't think that completely like invalidates like, I don't know, you know, advocacy for artists like in real life. And, you know, I don't know if that like answers the question, but I think they're two separate things right now. And that's the way that I'm approaching it. So yeah.
Chris, do you think that like the metaverse and Web3 can actually help real world artists get their rights?
I definitely do. I think the way that I like to think about the future is looking into the past and seeing how have things changed to the present to figure out, what's the trend, right? And I think there's a really interesting analogy when we think about, like, for example, transportation, right? 100 years ago or 200 years ago, the idea of going, let's say, from New York to Miami was considered really far, or maybe going from Miami to Spain considered really far. As transportation has evolved, the distance between two places, we think of it as smaller. And I think that, Web3 and the evolution of the internet is making the distance between artists and ownership smaller. Because if we think of, like, maybe 25 years ago before the internet, an artist getting their music into the hands of fans meant maybe paying upfront costs to print a CD and then headed to Times Square and like handing it out, trying to sell it for $5, Then maybe 1999, 2000, when we started to get like, Napster and digital streaming, now it looks like, let's say, uploading your music online, but so it goes from a physical middleman to a digital middleman, but there's still a middleman, right? There's still someone taking a cut of your streaming. There's still, DSPs, distributors that you have to pay. But now in the Web3 world, there are, platforms that I can upload my music for free, keep 100% of my royalties, or maybe keep 99.9% of my royalties, and I'm the one that owns my music. So in that sense, I think that, the world of tomorrow and the Web3 world, these technologies are actually helping artists a lot in terms of, or rather they stand to potentially help artists a lot in terms of owning their music, being exploited less, and keeping more of the revenue that their art generates.
That's what we want. That's what we love. Death, do you want to add anything to that one?
Yeah, sure do. What we're starting to see is how do we connect the blockchain world to the real world, right? Like, how do I buy an NFT and then show up in an event in real life, and that NFT actually gets me into the event? We're starting to see that type of stuff, and we're also starting to see labels get involved in the digital space, and they're already starting to realize that they have competition, and because they have competition, they're already starting to do things that seem more fair to artists, or they're going to be paying artists more, or trying to work out ways to give artists in the real world more exposure. And it's all from the pressure of what's happening in Web3 and the metaverse.
Definitely, thank you. Chris, you kind of were starting to touch on this about ownership and owning the royalties of your songs. What does that do for the economy overall when it comes to the music industry, but also the artists themselves?
Wow, that's an exciting question. Okay, so I believe that it costs money to create art, and there are a lot of artists that are working, several jobs even outside of the creative economy just to be able to support themselves as they continue to create art. I think one exciting development has been the growth of the earnings potential of actual like graphic designers and visual artists as the NFT market has continued to grow. Specifically, currently the NFT market is generating the most revenue in kind of like photos. So I think, from an economic perspective, if things continue in the trend that they are, and, of course, these opinions are kind of my own and not those of any institution that I'm involved with, but personally, what I think is exciting is imagining a world where artists and being an artist is no longer considered a job that doesn't make a lot of money. There are NFT artists, literally like 12-year-old kids, 13-year-old kids all around the world that are making a killing. And, I believe that the next step, NFTs don't just have to be photos. They can be movies, they can be videos, they can be, music clips. So what happens now when the earnings potentials are the same for visual artists, cinematographers, videographers, actors and actresses that want to NFT their image and likeness? So I think, it's bringing more earnings potential to the creation of art.
Which is very exciting. DB.
Sure. I think what we're seeing with Web3 is it's a lot easier to secure loans against your previous work. So we can take out loans against our previous year's streaming royalties and use those as collateral. And there's also a lot of really good rates on those loans. And there's no need to pay it back because they're actually pooling from the royalties that you're earning. So you get the advance and then they get paid back over time. So we're seeing those types of things as opportunities for artists, but as well, you're going to be able to invest in an artist music catalog, I believe, in completely new ways. So that's going to generate more money for the artists themselves. And then also it's going to allow, we're going to allow more people all around the world to make smaller micro investments in things that they love in and believe in. And that is something that in the global economy, I think is going to help people overall. And then I'd say the final thing is that the barrier to entry on a blockchain, it's trustless, it's permissionless, really you just need internet connection and a way to actually secure some of your crypto.
Right.
And this type of openness and ability for anybody to jump into the network and immediately start a business and creating and selling things, that's going to, I think, have a massive boost to the world economy. And the fact that, sorry, one more thing, the fact that the central banks won't be the arbiters of who gets that money to do these things. Any person will be able to do that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes me most excited as a fan, because I can't rap, can't sing. So my artist chances were not given to me, but huge fan. And I remember like me and my friends are always like looking for music, looking for new music. And I remember finding artists before they blew up and being like, oh, I know this person is going to blow up. I know they are. And then they do. And I'm like, if I could have invested in that person, in that artist, I could make money. What? As a fan, like that's so cool. And I wanted to ask Amber, since you are also an artist yourself, what are you most excited about potentially being able to interact with your fans, give to your fans? You can talk about literally anything that you're excited about, live performances, tickets, like digital tickets, go for it.
Well, I'm super excited for, like I said, exclusive experiences, fans being able to like kind of like crowd fund, my projects is super exciting. I also know like a lot of like decentralized record labels are starting up where they work on the basis of like crowdfunding and staking and stuff like that. I mean, my biggest like next idea that I'm like working on currently, like on Meta, is like my virtual reality, hangout experience. I could see, things going as far as like virtual reality merch stores where, you grab merch online and it gets shipped to your house. Like, I think the possibilities in the space are completely endless, on the music side, on the visual side. So that's what I'm definitely most excited for. Just the chance to be like closer to my fans and connect on that level,
Intimacy, yeah. Fans love being intimate with their favorite artists. Do either any of you have any other ideas that you're super excited to see come to life?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for this like whole Web3 universe to really start being created, because if you ever had dreams of being a CEO, you can now do it from a laptop, from your home. And it puts the power in your hand. Like every child has the world in their hands if they're tech savvy. Oh, they're going to be tech savvy because the world is leading towards a tech ruled world. So just to add on to the last commenter, she's right about like the materials being sold as an NFT and then like merch actually being shipped to you of that NFT that you bought. And I seen this project somebody did on TikTok. I don't know what account it was. I forgot to follow it, but it was this woman. She created like this NFT clothing to where she had minted the NFT. People bought it. She made money off of it, then sent out the merch. And like she put a camera on her actual shirt that she was selling. And it was like this pop-up 3D image on the screen of the phone. It was amazing.
That's
like,
crazy.
I think stuff, yeah, I know, right? I think stuff like that is gonna be crazy, because if people like, I think these like some creative goggles are gonna be created with people walking around.
Yep.
And like they can put on these goggles and they walk around and they can just see the NFT world and the real world at the same time. it's like the world is a game. I'm ready for it because I've been dreaming about being a CEO my whole life, but I've been like raised in a certain point where it was hard to move through society, but now everything is in my hands, so I feel powerful. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. You guys can all type in the chat like what you're most excited about. Would love to see that conversation happen in there. I want to ask another question to the panelists. What is the perfect time, or when is the perfect time to get involved in this space? Because kind of like Kaizel was saying, it's a time. It's not only a place, but it's a time. It's a time in technology. It's a time in, it's another era that we're going into, like the Stone Age, the Dark Ages, the Brown Ages. Like we're going into another age of technology. So, when would be a good time for artists, fans, regular people to get involved in the Web3 space? And what have you found to be the easiest ways to do so, whether it be user-friendly platforms or whatever it may be? And anybody can jump in and start that.
I mean, I would say right now is the perfect time, because just for the fact that there's that learning curve. You know, I've spent so much time personally like educating myself, because that's like the biggest thing, educating yourself, and then having to educate the people that you know believe are going to consume whatever you're putting out there, and then involving yourself in those communities. Because right now I know everyone's very excited about Web3, but the only people that are consuming it are people involved and educated and like involved in those communities. So like getting involved in like the Discords and Twitter and Clubhouse, and just really making yourself known in those communities, asking for help, like, you know, cultivating like creative ideas in those communities, all of that is beneficial, and you could get started in that right now, you know.
Definitely. Definitely. What about you?
There's a saying I like a lot. It's like an old Chinese proverb. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So I think just getting into Web3 and crypto like ASAP, and really not to get in and be a player in the scene, but really to get in and start educating yourself. I recommend people find like a hobby of theirs, whatever it is that they're interested in, and find it on the blockchain and interact with that directly, because you're going to be most excited about learning how to access whatever that is. And you'll write down the seed phrase, and you'll get the MetaMask, and you'll do the whole thing because it's something you're into, and it's not something that somebody on Twitter is just typing, or Instagram or whatever.
And when you say find it on the blockchain, what do you mean by that? How do you do that?
So I have like, I've made YouTube videos, and all I really did every time I wanted to make a video is I just typed in blockchain music news. And then I would just go to the news tab, and I would just get the latest and greatest information. Where are you getting this information from? And it's like, just search Google and it just pops up. So like if you're into books, books haven't really taken off in the NFT world yet. So researching what's happening with books and like literature and or even journalism, like Mirror is a great site for that. But like learning that those things are out there, and on Mirror, you can actually NFT an article. So if you're a writer, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you could just be doing it already.
Blockchain, the whole world. Like blockchain, the whole world, blockchain cooking. Like, let's get into it. Chris, do you want to add anything to what DB and Amber were talking about?
Yeah, I agree with both what DB and Amber have said. And I also wanted to address kind of the opportunity cost of not getting started now. And I think, you know, getting involved doesn't have to mean, you know, running and investing $1,000 on something you don't know about, or minting an NFT. Getting started can be exactly what DB said: reading, learning, Googling. Google, you know, what's going on in the blockchain, because, you know, when the internet, you know, was invented, I think it was January 1st, 1983. In the 3 years or the 5 years leading up to that, there were a lot of big corporations that knew something big was coming. The ones that were ahead of it, adopted it, stood to gain. The ones that didn't went bankrupt. In 2003, 2004, when Facebook was coming around, social media was coming around, what happened to Yellow Pages, right? You know, the book where if I want to find Death Beach, I'm gonna search for him in the alphabetized D portion of Yellow Pages, right? And so now, if we are truly accepting Web3, it's the third generation of the internet, then we can take a lesson from the past with what happens when you adopt change versus what happens when you don't, all the way down to the individual level, right? The world is changing. We're no longer carrying two-way pagers or using yellow pages when we want to find someone. So it's not too far-fetched to imagine that just as much as the world has changed in the past 20 years, it will continue to change 20 years from now. So some people are motivated by fear, and if you're afraid of getting left behind, then that's also a more stern reason why now is the time.
Perfect. And you guys have mentioned a couple of platforms like Google and Reddit, but are there any other specific groups that you're involved in, or any other specific platforms that people can play around with and just kind of learn?
Actually, there's a really great site for learning about blockchain stuff. It's called Rabbit Hole. And they send you to a bunch of different blockchain sites, and then you perform different tasks, and then you're rewarded in the token for that site. So I would look into Rabbit Hole for anybody looking to just get basic education, because you're actually doing and learning. So it kind of helps it sink in a little bit more. So I'd recommend that one. Another site that I'm really into right now is a site called Manifold, which allows you to create your own smart contracts. And then those smart contracts can be used in several different marketplaces. So you have your own place where you're minting and doing everything, and then you can launch it on whatever marketplace you want. And they're creating a second website that tracks all the different marketplaces and the sales on those marketplaces and the royalties that are supposed to be paid out. So if I buy something on OpenSea and I sell it on Rarible right now, the creator would not get the royalty.
Mm.
So there's systems being created right now, and there's a Ethereum protocol change where they're trying to make it more universal in the smart contracts, but they're working on this thing. It's called Manifold that I'm really into, and of course I recommend pools.io. I'll drop that in the chat right now.
Pools.io. Thank you. Anyone else have some of their favorite platforms that they use to learn? Death Beach got them all. Okay, awesome. Death Beach, you talked a little bit about royalty splits, and when you're selling music NFT or any type of NFT in one place to another, when it gets resold, there's a royalty involved. Can you tell us a little bit about what the difference between a NFT royalty split would be for a song versus just a traditional song from a label?
Sure.
Yeah.
So the royalty on an NFT is a royalty that's on an item that's being sold, which would typically happen, if you made a bunch of CDs and you sold the CDs, you would get some sort of royalty on that. But with the NFT, these royalties go into perpetuity as it continues to sell. With traditional music royalties, it's like every time a song is played on radio or whatever, or it's streamed, you receive a payment for that. So it's more it's more around the actual playing of it, like people interacting with it in order for it to generate revenue, versus the NFT where one person could simply want that NFT and it generates more revenue for you.
Very cool, very cool. And it's also a bit better return on investment, if I'm not mistaken, when you create your music as NFTs, because the payout is higher than streaming would be.
Well, I would also say that typically on like a label, if you're on a label, you're probably only getting 12%, and the label's getting like 90% or so. And with NFTs, you now have 100% of the pie that you're divvying up with people. And so whenever you get that royalty, it's going to be substantially more than a simple streaming royalty that you have to split.
Oh, Amber, are you able to unmute yourself at all? Oh no.
There we go.
Oh, okay. I saw your comment. I was like, wait, no.
Yeah, I was telling you to mute myself. So.
Can you tell us about your experience with your own NFT collection and how you created that, how that idea came from, and how you were able to sell that out? Oh no. It's okay. Drop your.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually had, so back when the NFT space really started booming, it was kind of like in the digital art space. And I'm an artist, like I'm a visual artist as well. I like create all my own videos and draw and all that good stuff. I've made all my own album covers. So I basically like really dove into the community, educated myself. I was like circling around like Clubhouse and Discord and like really finding out who's making moves in the community, asking for advice, going through Twitter, just trying to kind of like, build my little coalition of people and figure out how I was going to launch my NFT collection and position myself in a way as to where I could let my fans know basically like this is valuable. And to do that, I had to educate myself to learn why it's valuable. Or else it's kind of pointless. But yeah, so I basically did all that stuff, really networked in the space. So then by the time it was time for me to release my own visual like NFT, I had like a platform to put that on. And that's inevitably how it was like successful and sold out. And I made it relative to like my work as an artist as well. I made sure it was like cohesive with my brand, cohesive with actually a music release I had done. And then I'm super into sneakers. So I was like, let me do like a sneaker collection type thing. So yeah, I taught myself how to use Blender and release a cool little sneaker. It was super fun. It was a great experience.
Wait, what's Blender?
Blender's like a free 3D, like a free 3D software. It's terrible. The learning curve is absolutely atrocious.
What platform did you use to create those connections with a community in the Web3 space?
So first it started off on Clubhouse. So that was going crazy on Clubhouse. Then I got into like a lot of like Discord channels, Twitter. I would say those were like my main three right there. And then the actual platform that I used to release the NFT was Bitsky. So it works completely different from any other NFT platform, primarily because, the wallets don't work the same. They also have, they also just accept like credit cards and kind of like, they basically transfer that into crypto for you. So it just kind of eliminates the barrier to entry for like music fans or someone that's trying to purchase something without creating the wallet and all that good stuff. Like, especially at that point in time, like no one was going to go like create a wallet and then transfer money into the wallet. Like it just wasn't going to happen. So I definitely thought that was like the best platform to use, at least for that time.
Got you. Thank you. Sorry. I love that we've discussed how new this space is and how it's really evolving every day as we go, and that everyone in the room right now can literally just start by Googling anything that they're interested in, blockchain, and then hopefully get excited about it and build a community on Twitter, Discord, Clubhouse, and all of these spaces that are just looking for people to learn from and talk to and chat with. So I hope that's a good takeaway for everyone. I also want to open the space up for the audience members. I know you all have been sitting very tight and eager. I see all your questions popping up in the chat. So now is your chance to talk to the panelists themselves. Alexi, do you want to ask the first question? I see your hand is raised.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Alexi. I'm the CEO and founder of Finesse Media. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat and in the room, so we're excited to have you. I just wanted to ask really quickly to the audience, and then I have a question for the panelists based off of this. How many of you, just raise your hand, are totally new to Web3, like you've never created an NFT, you are really still learning about this space? Okay, awesome. And wow, there are a lot of you. This is great. Okay. And then you can put your hand down. And how many of you have dabbled in it, maybe purchased your first NFT or have made an NFT so far? Raise, show of hands. Okay. Awesome. Cool. So this question I think is going to help a lot of the newbies. So Death Beach, Chris, and Amber, what would you tell yourself if you were to go back to the very first time you started dabbling into the Web3 space? Like, what is the first piece of advice that you would give yourself? Maybe, I guess, if you started dabbling in it a year ago or 5 years ago, what would be the first piece of advice that you would give to your newbie self?
I can take this first. I would just start doing it. Make your first NFT. Do not get wrapped up in, well, I want it to be a music rights NFT and I want to split it this way, that way, and like make it this overly complex thing. This is something I see all the time. People come up with this grand idea based on these massive NFT projects that they've already seen, and like they don't even have a wallet yet. So I would start small, just create an the process of actually making the NFT is you're going to see at the end of this is fairly simple. It's really about organization, having what I call your assets, the picture, the type of copy, you know, what you're going to write in there, have that all typed up, ready to go first. And then you just plug all that, copy paste it in to the mint page, and then it's minted. And you need to do that so that you can then begin to understand how to use the NFT to help build community. So you can connect NFTs to like Discord and have gated channels, stuff like that. And you need to realize that it's not about your grand NFT idea, but it's about getting people into your Discord and into those private channels and like connecting with them. That's where it's really at. So I would just say, yeah, you know, focus on small, getting involved, and then grow.
Well, Chris, I saw you unmuted yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, I building off of that, in addition to just dive in, I would say also dive in carefully, because technology has evolved a lot over centuries, but human nature has stayed very much the same. And although there are cool like monkey JPEGs or like angry robots, this and that and the third, behind the images and behind the projects are real people. And so, you know, I think, you know, it's important to be careful and research the things that you're investing in, the NFT projects that you're minting. I, you know, remember when I was first getting started in this space, I became familiar with a pretty popular NFT project that, you know, had some investors or people that trusted in the NFT project, put forward a lot of money, did not receive the NFT that they were promised. And the team said, you know, sorry, we don't know where the money went. But that same team the next day was on their story popping bottles in the club in Miami, which they weren't doing last week before the NFT started making money. So I think it's important to remember behind those cartoons are real people. So focus on the projects and, you know, ask yourself where's the money going? Because the idea of Web3 is decentralization, where everyone involved in the community makes money. So if one person is making money off of a project, that's not Web3. The idea of Web3 is decentralized leadership. A DAO is something that you might see a lot, a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. The idea is instead of having one person at the top, everybody in the group kind of splits up ownership. But if there's an NFT project where one person is the leader and is calling all the shots, that's also not Web3. So I'd say really research the project, and this goes deeper than money. This is supposed to be an evolution of both human behavior, the way that we think about leadership, the way that we think about community. But a lot of these projects are just Web 2 projects, Web 2 ways of thinking using Web 3 technology. So just don't get exploited is, I think, what I, you know, would tell anyone getting started. Don't be discouraged, but make sure to keep your head on straight.
Cool. Thanks, Chris. And then Amber. Also, by the way, Amber, Chris, and Death Beach, the reason why we chose these speakers specifically was because we think that their NFT projects and their Web3 projects are some of the coolest in the industry right now. Death Beach was probably one of the first producers that I found who ran a really cool NFT project. Amber, you've been blowing up on TikTok. We're really excited about your projects. And then Chris is a Web3 economist, and we've been watching what you've been doing and supporting you as well. So we're really excited to see more of what all of you are going to continue to contribute to the Web3 space. But yeah, Amber, what about you? What advice would you give to your younger Web3 self?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with Chris in most areas. Definitely, like, you know, be cautious. It's not, and that goes back to the beginning of like educating. Educating is important. You know, there's a lot of hype behind Web3, a lot of hype behind NFTs, and the first thing everyone says is, this is the way artists are going to make money and disrupt the industry. I think it's really important to educate yourself on the value behind these things so you could, understand, and then educate yourself on like the basics of how to create a wallet, how to transfer money safely, how to keep your wallet secure. Like those things are important too, how to be on a secure network. Yeah, a lot of stories about how people have lost NFT collections, money. It's absolutely tragic. So just educate first. That's the first step. I wouldn't just go throw an NFT out there just to get started and work backwards. I think it's really important to just educate yourself and be safe,
Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's really helpful. I think the main takeaways, and Marley, I'm going to pass it back to you, I promise. But some main takeaways for everyone, because obviously a lot of us are new to the Web3 space. So people-oriented, the Web3 space is very people-oriented. A second point that was made is be careful and pay attention to what you're going to be investing in, and then also do your research. So 3 main takeaways from these amazing speakers. Thank you for answering my question. And Marley, go ahead and take it away.
Of course. If you guys want to just raise your hands for me with the raise your hands tool, I will call on you to ask your question. Let me see if anyone's out there, or you can drop them in the chat. I saw, let's see, Kaylin. Yeah, what's your question? You can unmute yourself and talk.
Hi, I have a question actually about the wallets in particular. So I know obviously, like Chris was just explaining, the tech is kind of the exciting part about Web3, the idea of decentralization. I think we're all in agreement that that's super exciting, but I think, and this might be because I've stumbled upon 1 or 2 breakdowns about how there's not like a consistent wallet function of like collecting NFTs. Like I also actually, we've been talking about OpenSea, have seen a breakdown about how the NFTs that are maybe purchased on OpenSea are kind of tied like under the hood, and I'm not describing it very well, but under the hood still tied to OpenSea. So if OpenSea happened to like go down, if you will, or like the website that's hosting all these NFTs was down, then they might not see that in whatever wallet they're using. So I guess my question is, what are your thoughts on like the tech that is kind of like all of this decentralization being implemented? Do you think that's there yet? Or do you think there needs to be some work done to have like a specific wallet that everyone has, and like a little less fear about like, oh, if one of these hosting websites goes down, what happens to my NFT?
Mm-hmm. So basically just like security, is there a secure wallet? Yeah.
Yeah, like a truly like, I guess another way to phrase it is, do you think there is a wallet function that is truly decentralized at this moment, or do you think that still needs to happen?
Gotcha.
I have a thought there.
Go ahead.
You got it.
Oh, I was telling you, I saw you unmute yourself, so I was saying, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'll keep it quick because I see DB unmuted as well, but I was actually on a phone call last night where I was kind of making this point, but like, it's important for users to have choice. I don't believe that there needs to be one go-to wallet or one, platform that everyone in the world is using, because you're right. What happens when that goes down, right? But if we look at the current like real world, like Web2 kind of marketplaces, we have the New York Stock Exchange that uses US dollar. We also have NASDAQ where you can, buy stocks using US dollar. But if I go to Japan, there's a different, stock market, and I'm going to be using Japanese currency. If I go to China, there's a different stock market. I'll be using Chinese currency. If I go to, although there's, a global marketplace that ties things together, there's also, different, systems that are not necessarily connected. So with that said, I believe that it's important for users to have choice, so we don't have a world where, oh my gosh, OpenSea went down, everybody's NFT is gone. So, you know, I definitely want to create, just leave some space as well, because it seemed like DB had some ideas on this topic. But I think the main point of what I'm trying to say is it's extremely important for users to have choice, for there to be different marketplaces, so that we don't have a world where one thing goes down and everything's gone.
Yeah. DB, did you want to add anything at all?
Yeah, everything's open source. So the idea behind wallets is that the wallet should be able to attach itself to any NFT. The NFT, there's an ERC 721 and an 1155. Those are the standards for the NFTs. So a wallet simply needs to be able to accept those standards, and it can accept those NFTs. So wallets are built generally in an open source way, especially if they're on a public blockchain like Ethereum. So any Ethereum wallet should suffice. I personally use MetaMask, mostly because whenever I first got in, it was the one that you could log into every single site with. In regards to the storage of the files, storing directly onto the blockchain is extremely expensive. So that's why we don't really see a lot of on-chain NFTs. There's a few different options for where to store stuff. So like OpenSea uses IPFS. It's been really rare that people don't pull up their NFTs on IPFS. IPFS is the Interplanetary File System. So it is a decentralized storage network all around the planet on everybody's computers. It's a little slow sometimes. It might take like a minute for your image to pop up. But again, that's fairly infrequent. And then there's another option called Arweave. That is, they seek to be the permanent, they call themselves the permaweb. So it's essentially cloud-based blockchain storage is probably the best way I could describe it right now. And Arweave is being integrated more and more into different sites. But for music, since we're talking about music today, Catalog is a site that people are minting on, and Catalog mints your content directly to the Ethereum blockchain. And I think a lot of the other ones do not do that, and they're utilizing either IPFS or Arweave on the back end.
Gotcha. Thank you. I want to take a quick moment to say thank you, Lottie Day, in the chat, dropping all of the resources. She is definitely like a Finesse Media VIP. So shout out to you right now. I also wanted to ask a question to you guys that I found in the chat from one of our audience members. They wanted to know, how do you come up with the value of an NFT? Amber, how were you able to decide what price to make your NFT?
That's kind of a loaded question. I mean, when I first started off, I mean, I at least want to account for my time and effort. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to launch an NFT to pay myself minimum wage. So I'll just start it off right there. But truly, you kind of, you set that value price. Don't go too low to think like, yo, if I sell this super cheap, I'm going to, it's going to pop off for me. Like, definitely don't do any of that. Set the value of what you believe is fair for yourself and your hard work. It's as simple as that, because we are in like this decentralized stage. Like, there truly is no wrong or right answer to that. So get yourself paid. That's all I have to say.
Any additional comments? I think that's a great answer right there. Yeah, Chris, go for it.
I think this is a question that really excites me, because I believe that artists have always been businesses. We are our own CFOs, our own CEOs, our own chief marketing officers, but we don't always have the same options that businesses have. So for example, right, if there are streaming platforms where if I want to drop a song or if I want to drop an album, that streaming platform might tell me it costs $9.99. Like, you can choose between it costing $7.99, $9.99, and it costing $14.99. But in the company that I own, if I want to throw an event and sell tickets, right, I can make that ticket $1, or I can make it like $14,000.24. But when releasing music through these middlemen platforms, artists have not always historically been given that option. But when maybe I'm selling a music NFT, right? That price, it's not just price, but both price and quantity can be variable. I can sell it for as much as I believe that my fans will buy it for. So I think, that's really, really exciting that now artists in this world are giving more, or are getting more autonomy, getting more control, that now it's not just about, well, I hope I have enough fans to make a sustainable living this year, but maybe I can sell one song for $100,000 to some billionaire that just really likes it, even if that person is the only person in the world out of 7 billion people that really likes that song. So, I think it just creates new combinations of price and quantity that artists can make a reasonable living and continue to make the art they want to while supporting themselves.
Yeah, that is fun. That is exciting. We want artists to live as artists. Last question from the audience before we hop into our workshop portion. How do you guys think Web3 and the evolution of music distribution will change the structure / style of music itself? For example, we have artists like Adele saying, I don't make TikTok music, and comments like that. How do you guys feel like this will change the structure of the music industry and styles?
So like, I feel like people.
Oh wait, hold on. Just for the panelists on this one. Thank you. Yeah, and anyone can jump in, or Amber.
Well, I have a few thoughts on this. I don't know necessarily genre-wise if this technology is going to affect anything. It's really the way you consume the music that kind of, I think, dictates these types of things, right? Like on TikTok, it's short video, so it's obviously short clips of music. People aren't getting very involved in it. YouTube's a longer format. People will get more involved in it. So it's really going to kind of come down to the type of experience somebody's still offering. I do think the music's probably going to get a little more futuristic sounding. And I imagine we'll probably hear some really big, like, throwback type stuff meshed with some like really futuristic-y, metaverse-y type sounds. But outside of that, I think it's going to still be dictated by experience.
Gotcha. Okay. Amber, what about you? Because you're heavily on TikTok. Do you think that the use of NFTs or music NFTs will play a role with TikTok with decreasing the quality of music and the sustainability of a song? Are you afraid that music is going to continue to be just like microwavable and not something that lasts long?
I mean, I completely, like, being firsthand on TikTok, and on top of that, like, I host like a live stream every week where I like discover new underrated artists on the internet. Just had to put that out there. So I listen to a ton of music that is out there that barely anyone hears about. And I think it's going the complete opposite direction. Like, with all of this like consumption of like super like microwavable pop hits, people are really seeking like real authentic connections and music and lyricism, and like not to put an unpopular opinion out there, but I feel like that's what's being marketed to be consumed, but that's not what people in our community and art fans are craving. I don't see that at all. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, no, I definitely don't see that being what's going to happen.
I like that you say that, because it touches back to Chris's point of it's about the experience, the listener experience, and listeners still are going to crave timeless music always, no matter what. And TikTok is fun, right? Like, yeah, it's fun. I like dancing for 10 seconds, 15 seconds to a song. Like, those trends are great. And I will listen to the same song 20 times for an hour because the content is great, right? Like, it's not a problem. And like you said, it is a chance for more music to be heard by artists that don't have as strong of a platform or don't have a label to push them and buy billboards for them. It's now I can find literally, Amber, please drop your link to the playlist, because so much talent there. What days do you do that on live?
So I do it on Tuesdays on Instagram Live, and then Thursdays on TikTok Live, and the TikTok Lives get lit. Like, I'm just like so stoked every time to find music that is like genuinely so inspiring. Like, these artists out here like making this type of music is unbelievable. And it's crazy because like the internet would have you like persuaded like otherwise, that music isn't being created and it's not out there. But these artists just haven't been discovered yet. And I'm just like so excited to be like pioneering this like movement of like a playlist and a platform that's curated by music listeners. So
yeah, awesome. Chris, did you have anything you wanted to add to the conversation?
Yeah, I think, there's also an exciting change, or not exciting, just interesting change in the experience of the artist, right? So, and again, these thoughts are all kind of my own, not of any institution I'm involved with, but specifically like the music industry has always, I believe, from my perspective as an artist, had kind of this issue with the trade-off between exposure and then getting paid. Mm-hmm. When I was a musician doing gigs, I did some gigs where they were like, yeah, we can't pay you, but there's going to be 200 people there and you can give them your Instagram. Or ones where they're like, hey, there won't be a lot of people there, but we'll pay you. Or, hey, we'll pay you, but we won't put your name on the flyer. And I think one thing that's I see going on when I look into the market, specifically with, the rise of TikTok songs, is the artists becoming anonymous. If you open up TikTok or think in your head, there's so many songs that on TikTok, but how many of them can you name the actual artist? How many of them did you go and follow that artist on IG, for example? I've heard a lot of conversations where it's like, oh, that one song that goes da 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 da. Oh yeah, I love that song. Who's it by? Oh, I don't know. It's a TikTok song, And I think that is also something that's happening hand in hand as we go into a world where artists can now be digital, or maybe an artist isn't even an actual human being. Maybe the artist is like an avatar, but who is making the underlying music and how are they paid? So I think, artists becoming anonymous and now people having shorter attention spans and focusing more on just like, oh, I like this song by this artist and I like 20 songs that are TikTok songs, but I can't name 20 songs I like by the same artist. It's an interesting trade-off where now artists can make more money off of one song, but it might be more difficult to build a lasting brand and a lasting fan base. So I think that, issue of exposure versus, earnings potential is something that even in Web3 is going to be an interesting question to answer.
For sure. And I think that's something that we'll only be able to answer over time as well. DB, I want to give you a chance to say any last words, and all of you guys a chance to say any last words before we close out the Q&A portion.
Come find me on Instagram and YouTube. Let's talk. Also, I have if you're interested or anybody's interested, I do have a Discord channel. It's called the Crypto Music Club. All about music and crypto and NFTs and all that kind of fun stuff.
For sure. Amber, people are asking where they can find you and submit to you.
I know, I was like just about to answer that question in the chat, but basically you could find me on Instagram under Ryann Breezy. I put that in the chat. Same with TikTok, Ryann Breezy. If you want to, check out my music, look me up on Spotify, Apple, Google, Amber Ryann, AMBER RYANN, 2 N's. If you guys come to the music live stream, all you have to do to submit is just drop artist name and artist song in the comments. On Tuesdays on Instagram, I'll just put this out real quick. On Tuesdays on Instagram, I make it a point to bring someone on with me to help critique the music, someone from the industry, someone with experience, whether it be an A&R, engineer, songwriter, just to bring value to the artists and give them an opportunity, give them some tools. Independent artist season 2022.
Thank you. And then Chris, where can we find you? I know I see you dropped your IG and LinkedIn, but
Yeah, just my name. I dropped my Instagram and my LinkedIn in the chat. You can find me anywhere just with my name.
Okay, perfect. And he is very, very nice and approachable, so don't be shy. They are. Do not be shy to talk to any of our panelists. We bring them on because we want you guys to be able to talk to them and learn from them even after today. So thank you all so much for your attention, and to the panelists. You guys have seen this chat go off the whole time. You've seen it go off. I think you definitely taught somebody something today, and that's a victory for sure. And you guys can stay on for this. It is one, I wanted to have, Finesse Media team, who has their gear? Can you raise your hand if you have your gear on today? Kit Kat. Okay. So I don't know if y'all know, but Finesse Media dropped merch. This is our NFT that we dropped on the Music and Tech Summit. You see Abby has her sticker. We also, I got the matching tote bag. Don't play with me. Okay. Right there. And you can find the merch on our website also. So I just wanted to flex on you guys. Next, I shouldn't say next Saturday. 2 Saturdays from now, I want some audience members to have some merch. And can we give a big whoop whoop for the panelists? Unmute yourselves. Everybody can unmute yourselves. Scream now. Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, thank y'all. Do I have ability to share my screen? I don't have ability to share my screen right now. Oh, yes, I do.
Marley, you should be good. Death Beach, Amber, and Chris, thank you so much for being a part of our panel today. We really appreciate you. And if everyone wants to connect with them, you all saw it in the chats, how to connect with Amber, Chris, and Death Beach offline. But yeah, Death Beach, Amber, Chris, if you need anything from Finesse Media ever, feel free to reach out. You all are welcome to stick around. We're about to go into how to mint an NFT live. So thank you all so much for being a part of this.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you guys. All right. So you guys are all going to help me make an NFT right now. And I wanted to do this because I want to show you guys how easy it can be. Because everyone's like, how do you do it though? Like, I don't understand. So I want to just show you it can be as easy as uploading a picture onto Instagram. Literally a couple more steps, but basically the same situation. And let's see if I can do this. 1 second, guys. This is my first time teaching anyone anything, so bear with me.
Marley, are you able to share your screen?
It's not letting me at the moment.
Oh. All good. Okay, well, while you are taking care of that, how's everybody doing? Give us a little raise the roof if you're feeling all right back there. Are you all still alive? Woo, 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 woo. Okay, cool.
I'm loving all the information I'm getting. I appreciate everyone even taking the time out today to even share this, because I really feel like even if you're not an artist, information is so valuable in today that we're living in. So thank you, everyone.
Cool. Yeah, it's great to have everybody on here. Marley, I'm going to give you some time while you're taking care of your technical difficulties in the background, and we'll just go around and do some introductions, see how everyone's doing. Lottie says roof raise. Cool. I see a bunch of new faces. So first of all, thank you to the entire audience for being a part of this. This is really exciting. This is our first Web3 in the music industry panel that is not from our Music and Tech Summit. Can anyone raise their hands if they were a part of our Music and Tech Summit last year? I'd just like to see if anyone joined in. A couple of you, cool. We got our team raising our hands. I know y'all were part of the event already. So cool, nice. So I'm glad that for those of you that were a part of our Music and Tech Summit, thank you for coming back. For those of you that are totally new, I'd love to see where you all came from. Would anyone like to unmute themselves? Just give a really quick intro of like where you're from, what you do, and then how you found out about us. Ignacio?
Yeah, I can start.
Yeah, cool.
Hi guys, nice to meet you. Actually, I'm from Spain, as you can see, and I'm currently in the university, and in the last year, and I'm gonna make my final degree project about NFT and the metaverse, actually.
Nice, cool. How'd you find out about Finesse Media?
Sorry, what?
How did you find out about Finesse Media? How did you find out about the event today?
Oh yeah, actually, I was searching about this type of events in Eventbrite. So yeah, I found you in there.
Oh, cool. Well, welcome in. We appreciate you for coming. I see Canary says, I'm from NC, heard about this platform from a friend, interested in learning about NFTs. Awesome. Maria, you're new to our community. How did you find out about us? What do you do? Tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, my name is Maria Lozano. I'm actually an old music publisher. So I've been in the music industry for, almost 30 years. So I'm older than the average person you have on this panel, or the audience too. And I'm just interested pretty much in what's happening and how is it going, because in these 30 years, I've seen a lot of changes. And definitely it continues to evolve. I heard about Finesse Media. I think I subscribed to Finesse Media. That's how I got the invitation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. Great to meet you. So if anyone needs help understanding music publishing, now you have a connection. Maria Lozano.
Absolutely. Yes.
Cool. Thank you for joining us. Awesome. Angela Mona, where are you from? And how did you become a part of the event today?
Hey. Nice to meet you, by the way. I'm usually nervous when I introduce myself. Just cool. I gotta get used to it. It sucks. I'm from Cali. Grew up here. I heard about this from Amber's page since I follow her. I listen to her music and I'm very supportive of her stuff. So I saw it in her stories. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And I'm new to Web3. I took interest last year, and now this year I just got to go all in. Just learn and digest the best I can. That's it.
Nice. Cool. Well, it's really great to have you, Angela. Welcome to the Finesse fam.
Thanks. Likewise.
Cool. Madi says the Digitalog put him on, her on. Madi, I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right. Hopefully I am. I currently intern at UpRocks as a creative intern and worked at other entertainment companies in the past as a marketing intern, third year in college, Queens, New York City based QGTM. Nice, cool. Okay, Marley said that Marley is ready. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Kaizel, I see you raising your hand. I already know who you are, but you're already a part of the Finesse fam. Kaizel's a dope artist out of New York City. So if you all want to connect with Kaizel, he's also the assistant manager at the Stadium BK, which is a studio in Brooklyn. Cool. And Azar, I see you raising your hand. Azar is a lo-fi artist who is managed by Finesse Media. But cool. We will jump into things with Marley. Thank you all for joining us. And Marley, we're going to go ahead and let you show us how to mint an NFT today.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It would not be presentation day without technical difficulty, right? Brownie points for anyone who can tell me where my background is from. Can say it in the chat and I'll send back a little heart.
Hey,
so,
Arnold.
Hey Arnold, yep.
Yeah.
It's Hey Arnold's bedroom. I stay in the attic of my grandparents' house, so it feels like I'm in Hey Arnold's room also. This is like my goals for rooms. But yeah, so today I am going to be using the website mintable.app because it's very user-friendly, and I'm also using it because you can mint an NFT without using any gas fees. So what I've already done is I've already created an account and I've already connected my crypto wallet, which the steps in doing that is very easy. You have to in order to mint an NFT, but like I said, this website is very user-friendly, and it will, as soon as you go right over here to mint, it'll ask you to create a crypto wallet using OpenSea or MetaMask or anything. I use MetaMask for my wallet today. So right now I'm just going to click mint an NFT. I want it to be gasless, so no transactions are needed. So it's going to be free for me to mint it. I'm going to proceed to mint. I'm going to call it a music NFT. And we have art, videos, collectible, sports, utility, anything. Then I'm going to select a subcategory of what type of music it's going to be, which I will let you know what kind it is in a little bit. I'm going to call it alternative rap. The listing title, actually, let me get you guys involved in this. What should I list it as? Can I see the chat? How do I see the chat? Boom. A classic, yes, Mr. Unmute yourselves with an idea. Yeah. Let me know what I should list it. What's the name? What's the title of our NFT today? It could be Finesse Media Fam. It could be
Finesse Media Anthem.
Anthem.
Y'all need an anthem. Y'all need an anthem.
Anthem. Period. Finesse Media Anthem. see, I don't know how to spell. There it is. Listing subtitle. Web3. Okay. So surprise, you guys are all going to make a song with me right now. And the song is our traditional woo woo. And what I'm gonna do is, it's so easy. I'm literally using my voice memo feature on my iPhone. In 3, 2, 1, I want everyone to unmute yourselves, get off the mic and scream as loud as you can. Woo, woo! Right here, okay? In 3, 2, 1, y'all ready?
You gotta unmute yourselves, everyone.
You have to unmute yourselves for it to work. All right, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Now, all I'm doing on my phone is I'm sharing it to my computer. If you heard that sound, that was me sharing it to my computer. Shout out to AirDrop. That is one of my favorite features. All right, boom. So now I'm going to add files. And the first file you add is going to be the cover of your NFT. So I'm going to use the Finesse Media logo as a cover. It pops up right there. I do own the rights to this picture, wink, wink. I don't know if I do. I'm going to say I do. Alexi, do not sue me, please.
I'm reporting you.
And then I'm going to go find, next what I have to do actually is I have to, since I used voice memo, I'm going to have to convert the file because the file is a MPA and they're not going to accept that. It has to be a WAV or MP4. So I'm using just this conversion website to just convert it real quick. So I'm going to add files. And it is 1 second, I'm not finding it. Oh, it's in downloads. Okay, perfect. That's my address. Don't stalk me. Okay, boom. And I'm going to convert it to MP4. No. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. Now I'm going to add the file. Desktop. Boom. Open it. It's there. And then I'm going to add a description. Finesse Media fam. And Web3. If you were actually minting an NFT, you would want this description to be as detailed as possible because that's how people are going to find it. So you would want to use hashtags. You would want to explain like everything that you, like if you wanted to use like stems of your music, you would put that in there. And then I'm going to list it for as cheap as I possibly can. Has to be greater than $1. So I'm going to make it $2. List the item. You're about to send one transaction to the blockchain. Let's send it to the blockchain. I will sign my signature. And congratulations, we just made the Finesse Media anthem. I'm going to view my listing.
How much was it, Marley?
It was $2.56. If you want to buy it, it's $2.56. And that's literally how fast you can make an NFT. And it cost me $0.
That's amazing. That was so quick.
Simplicity. Very nice.
Thank you. Yeah.
The type of apps have a percentage of your royalties?
So you can, when you go to buy an NFT, you can make the percentage anything you want, really. You can say, I want to give away 30% of ownership when the next person sells this. I want to give away 70%. I want to keep 100%. And then every time someone sells your NFT, you get that 30% royalty that you asked for originally. And you can make that number whatever you want that to be. It can be 7% even. And so, yeah, every time it gets sold and sold and sold over and over again, you keep that royalty every single time. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, thank you. There's more complicated ways to make an NFT, but that's like the simplest way that I found to do it. And it's really quick. And yeah, thank you. And thank you all for taking your mics off and being as loud as you possibly could and giving that energy. If I sell it, you guys will all get a check for 0.007 cents. Or what's $2.56 divided by 58 people? I'm not sure, but
don't promise that, Marley. They're all gonna come for me. They're gonna come to me for that money.
And then you're gonna sue me for using the picture that I don't own.
Exactly. Cool. Was that helpful for everybody? Give us a little thumbs up if that was helpful to see on screen. Cool.
Awesome. That makes me very happy.
Yeah. Thank you, Marley.
Do these conversations outside of today. Find our panelists, ask them questions. They're all like here for you, willing to help. And I know we dropped a lot of resources today. So yeah, if you're interested in this space, if this was helpful, keep the conversation going. And anything you're interested in, like the panelists said, literally blockchain fashion, blockchain Nikes, blockchain books, anything that you're interested in, anything that you want is going to be in the Web3 space. So all you can do right now to start off is just get excited about it and get curious about it and utilize the resources around you because there are so much. And don't forget to circle back to our contact sheet today, make friends, make connections. We want to see you guys again. And thank you so much for spending your Saturdays with me today. Alexi and KitKat, do you have any announcements?
Yeah, Jordan, I think I wanted to make an announcement about upcoming events. So Jordan, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Jordan. I'm the events manager here at Finesse Media. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the events we have coming up. But thank you all so much for being here today. We hope you all continue to be with us throughout the year as well. Next week, we'll be discussing how to build your own home studio. So outside of traditional recording studio. It'll be really fun. I'm interested in that topic. And then to look forward to more events in February. We'll be discussing how to build a music collective. We'll have some artist managers, some of your favorite artists on as well. And then at the end of this month, February, we'll be celebrating Black music, obviously for Black History Month. So yeah, come back and join us. Thank you.
Cool. And I know a lot of you folks still have questions, so we're going to continue with these conversations. We are definitely looking into hosting another Web3 or more specific event a little bit later in the year, and even potentially doing another music and tech summit at the end of the year. We'll see. Last year, we had a lot of people come through. We hosted on Decentraland. So we'll see if we host another one this year. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming and being a part of our event this week. You're welcome to connect with us at finesse.media on Instagram. We host events on a week-to-week basis for free in the music industry. So thank you all for coming. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you, Marley, for hosting, and see y'all later.